Hello, everybody. My name is Michel Derry. I am president of the SECPNL. This is an association of coach. Most of the coaches in our association is are PNLists, NLP. And I am with Carol Hardy. She is an administrator at the SECPNL. And our host today is Caitlin Walker. Caitlin from Liverpool or close to Liverpool. And the subject this morning will be how a coach could use a clean language and how that clean language could help the coach and the client to go deeper in his own authenticity.
Mhm.
And
And
Carol, do you want to tell a few
who
words?
is, yes, thank you, Michel. Who is Kathleen Walker? And Kathleen Walker, it's an NLP coach, yes, and
Great. Mm.
facilitator of clean coaching. And at the end of January, she will be in Paris in the Congress of NLPNL to give a conference. And in February 24 and 25, she will give a conference, a training in Toronto in the clean team.
Yes, clean for teams, team coaching.
Okay. And Kathleen, would you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm one of the early people to adapt David Grove's clean language and to take it out of therapy and into a coaching or a team coaching, teamwork skill. And so I watched the psychologist David Grove, who worked with clean language with his patients, and together with Penny Tompkins and James Lawley, who were NLP modelers. I was their assistant at the time when I was much younger. Then we modeled David Grove's work, and they were extraordinary because they took a very, very brilliant psychotherapist, and like the very early NLP modelers, they worked out which bits of what he did was replicable. What was the structure of it? And how could they then, once they had the principles and the structure, then lots of different people could adapt it because, of course, the model was then much more applicable. At the same time, I was not working one-to-one. I wasn't a coach or a therapist. I was a youth worker. So my job was to work out how can I not use it with teenagers, but teach teenagers to use it together to create collective learning and collective outcomes and solve problems collectively. And so in my history, what then happened was somebody said, this work you do with teenagers, I won awards for it in the early 1990s, mid 1990s. They said, can you use it with IT? Can you use it with corporate businesses? I was like, I don't know, but it turns out I can. So I tend to be in the clean language field. I tend to be the group or the organizational development person. But I still teach coaches and I do one-to-one executive coaching as well. So that's my background. Maybe a little bit about what makes a question clean. And I might need to use the two of you to answer this question. So
Okay.
just imagine, Michelle and Carol, just imagine that you came to a coaching session and you wanted to explore being stuck. So if you were stuck, you're stuck like what? And if each of you can answer, I'll show you how to ask clean questions about your answer. So when you're stuck, you might be stuck like what?
For me, stuck, it's like a wall. No, wall, hein? Un mur. Wall.
Yep. We'll just pause a minute. I'll come and ask you some questions. And Michelle, what about you?
When I am stuck, maybe I am freeze.
So, with clean, I have only a handful of questions to ask. And the cleanness of a question means any presupposition or assumption that I make, I have to keep quiet. I'll still make it. I'll still have thoughts about Carol's wall and the size and shape of it, and whereabouts it is. I'll be making assumptions, but I have to keep them quiet. And when Michelle says, oh, I freeze, I'll have thoughts about my own freeze or what kind of freeze. I'll have the thoughts, but I have to keep them quiet. So that when I ask a clean question, I'll be constrained, but Michelle will be free to answer in his way and Carol will be free to answer in her way. So I'll start with Carol's wall and you can hear the questions I ask. So Carol, when it's a wall, what kind of wall?
It's a big wall, very high wall, and it's like bricks with bricks.
And it's big and it's high with bricks. And when it's high, where is the wall? Where is that high brick wall?
In front of me.
And how far in front of me?
How far? Maybe 2 meters.
So a high brick wall in front of me, about 2 meters. And Michelle, when I freeze, what kind of freeze?
My head is empty.
And then what happens when my head is empty?
All my cerebrals function are on standby.
And when I freeze, all my cerebral functions are on standby. What happens just before I freeze?
Uh, I think that there is a kind of fear.
And whereabouts is that fear?
Uh, I think this is uh, I try to reach some tools on or some ways to do something and I can't. I can't find, I can't reach, I can touch new tools or you know.
So I try to reach, I try to touch, and I can't.
Yeah,
And there's fear and a freeze, and all my cerebral functions go on standby.
yeah.
And Carol, there's a big, very high brick wall in front of me. And then what happens when there's a high brick wall in front?
I didn't see anything. Oh, nothing. Yeah, I didn't see because there is the wall. I can't see uh, in the
Over.
other side, and I can't. I don't know what to do.
I can't see here, I can't see, and I don't know what to do.
Mm.
And I'm stuck. And Michelle, I tried to reach, I tried to touch, I can't. There's a fear and freeze. And cerebral strategies on standby. So I'm just going to pause the two of you. So that's a tiny modeling. So one way to think about it with, especially if you have an NLP mind, is the word freeze is like 2D. And then we use the clean questions to turn it into a model. What kind of freeze? Where is it? Whereabouts is it? What happens just before? What happens next? They are the simplest modeling tools. Or with the wall. Oh, what kind of wall? Where is the wall? Does the wall have a size or a shape? What happens just before? What happens next? So I think NLPers can understand clean very easily because it's modeling. And what Penny Tompkins and James Lawley named it when they were modeling David Grove's work, they called it symbolic modeling. You're modeling the symbols of the structure in the unconscious experience of your clients. And the way that a coach can use it is it does three things, I think. It helps your coach to truly be curious. And when I say truly, it's like to be curious beyond what they think they need to do. So, for example, if Michelle says, "Oh, I freeze," and I think, "Oh, yeah, I know what that means," I won't ask questions. Or if Carol says, "Oh, there's a wall," and I go, "Yeah, yeah, I know about walls." I won't ask. But that's because as a coach, then it's my understanding that I'm operating off. But in clean coaching, Carol and I are building a model of Carol's wall. Michelle and I are building a model of Michelle's freeze. And so the attention is between Michelle and I are both modeling his freeze. So we're collaboratively modeling, or Carol and I are both modeling the wall together. And so what David Grove used to say, he'd say, the symbols, the metaphors co-coach. They coach on your behalf. Once the metaphors or the model is in the room, it helps to inform your client even more than your questions do. So instead of me having to ask a powerful question to change your system, my job is to ask really clever little questions that help your system to reveal itself, and then your system gives you powerful change, not me. So it's quite subtle, but it's different.
Yes, it's other part of the brain, and you have to switch in other part of the brain, in the right brain.
Yes. Yes, it appeals to, so you don't have to spend the whole of your coaching session there. You might start with, oh, what's been happening? What's working well? What's not working so well? How did you get on with your last tasks? What would you like to have happen now? And then at some point in your coaching session, you might go, here's a really good little piece. I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to turn it into a metaphor landscape.
You have to be curious.
Yes.
Yes. And it's like a movie, and you have to ask what is before, what is after, and what is the déroulement to understand
The scenario.
The scenario, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And you need to go, so we call it in symbolic modeling or clean approaches for coaches. You get the landscape around it, the scene, the scenario around the word. So if your client has come and they say, I'm stuck, Michelle's stuck and Carol's stuck are very different stucks. Yeah. And the logic of a brick wall and the logic of a freeze and a fear and a freeze, they're very different. So now I'm truly coaching Carol with the logic of Carol's system and Michelle with the logic of Michelle's system, not the logic of Caitlin's system.
Yeah. And my feeling now, after this really small time, it is like I could try to go deeper with full authenticity.
Yeah.
I can connect my brain with my emotion now. It's really, I really like that. Maybe maybe I have another question about the time, the present time, the past time, and the future. If I am coaching managers, if I am coaching performers, if I am coaching achievers, how may I use it in the future time, or
Mhm.
for the goal, or the for someone who wants to achieve, and she's or he is really close to his target, and
So you can model what you'd like to have happen, what is happening, or what has happened. They're all the same.
okay.
So the idea in clean coaching is you're always coaching in the moment. It's just where your attention is. So while you're practicing, again, there's a very simple model that Penny Tompkins, James Lawley used for coaches when they're just learning clean language, and they call it the PRO, problem, remedy, outcome. And they say, keep your clients while you're learning, keep your clients in outcome. So if you say to your clients, oh, what would you like to have happen? And your client says, well, I'd like to go full commitment to this goal, but I feel stuck.
Yeah.
You might ask one or two questions about the stuck, like I did, but your attention needs to be, and when you're stuck and you'd like to achieve, what would you like to have happen now? And keep them future orientated. So, what would you like to have happen? What would you like to have happen now? If they keep going to problem, you might say, what would you like instead? And they say, keep it outcome focused because it trains the attention on what they want and it keeps you in the forward motion. So those questions, and then you have to be able to calibrate. Oh, they've gone back to problem. That's fine. Maybe ask one or two questions and then move them over again. So, yep, that is the problem. And when that's the problem, now what would you like to have happen? What would you like to have happen next? So it's always present, future.
Okay. And PRO, would you repeat again the signification of P, right?
Problem.
Problem?
A remedy is also a problem, but a remedy sounds like an outcome, but it's not. A remedy would be, oh, I wish I could stop procrastinating. But that's not really an outcome. It's the problem, but I want to get away from it. So P and R are both problems, and an outcome would be, I'd like to do things without hesitation, or that's actually still a bit remedy-ish, or I'd like to do things quickly and confidently would be an outcome. I know that's what I want. And the reason that's important with a clean question is clean questions have no structure apart from they can ask about characteristics, what kind of, is there anything else? They can ask about size, does it have a size or a shape? They can ask about location, where, whereabouts, or they can ask about sequence, what happens next, what happens before. But apart from that, they have no. So if you're not careful as a coach and somebody says, I'm stuck, you might ask a whole hour about stuck and never know what they want instead. So if for beginning coaches, we really recommend that you learn to ask, what would you like to have happen? And you keep them in the future format.
Okay.
And people can still do really lovely metaphors, even though they haven't happened yet, but they're future metaphors.
And Kathleen, with your experience, how yourself uh, you are able to be free, or to be to be like how you are able to don't think now and just to take care of Carol and myself without thinking, without obstructions, or filters, or some stuff like that.
So the first thing is I practiced. So I have the questions on a dice, and I have them on cards. And for a year, I shuffle the cards, and whatever you say, I turn a card over and I ask this question. I put it back. Whatever you say next, I turn a card over. So first of all, I practiced. I practiced and practiced and practiced.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I practiced with teenagers, and I practiced with teenagers who wouldn't go to school and didn't go to school. So when you ask a question that tries to push a teenager's thinking in a certain direction, you know they like to push back. They are not adults, they're not polite, they don't submit, they don't think that you have authority over them. And so they push back, and they were very, very good teachers. So if I say to them,
Oh, Kathleen? Oh, okay.
sorry, there's somebody at my door. Jump up. Come on. You don't need to bark. Come and pay the dog tax. Say hello. There you go.
And for sure, for viewers, we are live.
Yes. So oh yeah, how do you so with the teenagers, if I say to them, what's a job that you would like to do? They can answer.
Yeah.
But if I say to them, do you not think that you would like to work in a warehouse? Or do you not think that if you try and push them, they go, no. And so they show you, they are like a beautiful barometer. They show you that you're trying to push them somewhere, and they push back. So yeah, don't practice with your own teenagers. That will not make a good job. They don't like it. Practice with somebody else's teenagers. And the third thing is I got results. I got really interesting results. So when I was practicing, people would say, oh, can you use it with maths? I'd say, I don't know. Let's try. Get me some people who can't do maths or have maths phobia. We could model it. And suddenly they could do maths so much better. I was like, oh, okay. Can you do it with burnout? I say, okay, give me 6 people in your company that hit their targets and don't burn out. I'll model each 6 of them. How do they do it? What's the model for it with clean language? And then the rest of the company can experience those 6 models and go, oh, we know what they're doing. They can work out how to copy these metaphor models. Yeah. So, and the people I'm modeling, they get insights into their own system and they can do it even better. So I wouldn't be clean if I thought I could do it better by telling them what to do. I'm only clean because I got good results.
Yeah.
And better results I could never have dreamed of. That's why I do it.
And clean is like you are looking, you're the metaphors, and you are not stuck in. Yes. You are in other position.
Yes, and Carol, it's even so. If somebody says, "I know where I want to go, but there are things in the way," when I'm cleanly modeling, I don't decide things are bad and this is good. I just go. Yeah. I know where I want to be, and there are things in the way, but I'm here for the whole system. I'm here for what the things want to have happen and for the way forward. So I don't try in clean, we don't try and turn down voices or get rid of bad feelings. We model them, and then we let them confess their positive intention. Mm-hmm. So that the system changes rather than we push the system in a certain way.
And it's a posture, clean posture.
That's a clean stance is I truly trust that you are the expert on your own system, not me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And clean is modeling. And how do you use it with a team?
Well, so teams, I mean, teams is where it gets really exciting, I think. So in a team, for example, if this is a flip chart and we have here, we have problems and undesired outcomes on this side and resources and desired outcomes on this side. And it's cross, the team can share, oh, I would like to reduce the tenure of our senior leaders. Now it's 6 years, I'd like to take it to 3 years. So that's a desired outcome that goes here. And what goes wrong in teams is then somebody will say a problem. Oh, you won't be able to do that. The unions won't let you. Straight away, we've just gone from here to here. Or they say, oh, if you do that, people won't apply. You go. They switch quadrants. This is my quadributions model that I've developed. But with clean, you train the team, ask 2 questions before you're allowed to switch to a different quadrant. So if they say, I'd like to reduce tenure, you can say, what kind of reduce? Or when we reduce tenure, then what happens? Or when we reduce tenure, what needs to happen just before we reduce tenure? So you stay here for 2 questions before you change. And if, I don't know, if Michelle said, I want to reduce tenure, and Carol says, that's never going to work because people will be angry. It's actually probably an undesired outcome. It's not Michelle's job to correct Carol. I train teams. It's the team's job to say, let's pause. Michelle, let's ask Michelle 2 questions. Let's ask Carol 2 questions. Then let's move to action. What do we want to do? So you're training the group to turn a 2D statement into a 3D model, a mini model, and then to navigate meetings much more successfully with much less conflict.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. The coach is with the group, but not inside the
Yes.
discussion. Okay. And he could manage with neutral questions and let the group do the job.
Yes. Now, when there's high conflict, which is normally my sort of groups, it won't just be a little bit of this quadrant and this quadrant. Maybe Carol says something and Michelle says, oh, you're such an idiot. I think of these as arrows. So you have to be quick. You have to catch the arrow.
Yeah.
And say, oh, Michelle, when Carol says she wants to reduce the tenure, what kind of idiot? What happened just before you say she's such an idiot? Or what's important to you, Michelle? So you catch it, you freeze it.
Yeah.
And you go, what's important to you? Oh, let's just find out what's important to her. What happened just before she's an idiot? Uh-huh. What would you like to have happen?
It's
So,
not exactly what I want to say, but like okay.
yeah. But we
You
don't shame people.
Right.
We just catch it, a little bit of attention here, a little bit of attention there. Give it space, not war. We say make space, not war.
you need a big attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in order to have a big attention, I have to turn down my own assumptions, outcomes. This is the cleaner my stance, the wider my attention is, the easier it is for me to manage the whole group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with your experience, you have to be available of any situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to know that there are probably secret things that you don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always hidden things in the system and you don't know why it is the way it is. So you need to keep your judgment quiet.
Yeah.
You don't know why it's like this.
Yeah.
Mm. It's very in the present.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very much about staying in the present and being available to what is happening, not to what should be happening.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And in Toronto, it's for a team too. And
yes, I think that individual coaches and team coaches. I'm going to share about I call it the quadributions model, and how to people will become competent in being able to ask 2 or 3 really good, clean questions at the right time. Because I think that you can go for a whole year and just practice that skill before you need another training.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Is it your first time in Toronto?
it is.
Yeah.
I've visited Canada maybe when I was a child. We came down through the Rockies. My grandparents are Canadian. I
Okay.
think my great grandfather was French Canadian, and my other one is I don't know what other kinds of Canadians there are, but a different kind of Canadian. Yeah. So I'm excited to go. I've never been there as an adult.
Carol, do you have other question for Kathleen, or Kathleen, do you have other comments? Because it is really interesting.
Well, the when David Grove, I mean, David Grove died about 18 years ago, but one of the things that was very precious about him and about Kai Davies Lynn, who was his wife and who also co-developed Clean Language, he made it like shareware. So he gave it and said he never tried to restrict me. He said, go and experiment, go and do interesting things. And so I think that what I want to say is there are lots of free resources. So when money is tight, you don't have to have a lot of money to train in clean. There's a free community called Clean Campus, which I can put into chat as well. But if you just type in Clean Campus, then you can get it. It meets every Tuesday in the morning and in the afternoon. So for time zones around the world, there are videos, there are books. I think probably the easiest book is Clean Approaches for Coaches by Marion Way.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, if you like teams better, my book is called From Contempt to Curiosity, creating the conditions for groups to collaborate. And if you're a good reader, if you're like the philosophy behind things, then Penny Tompkins and James Lawley's Metaphors in Mind. So these books are easy. They can be bought over the internet. So I think that it's wonderful to be in person. It's wonderful to have a direct experience of it.
Yeah.
And if you can, wonderful. I think I'm coming to Toronto in end of February, and I'm going to be in Montana in North America in May.
Mm.
But there are other ways of learning it. So people shouldn't feel that if they can't get to a live event, they can't learn it. Yeah.
And the secret is practice, practice, and practice.
And practice with friends.
Practice.
Practice for fun. Say,
Yeah.
oh, today we're going to model joy. Joy
Yeah.
for you is like what? And get the structure of joy. Or today we're going to model saying no. Saying
Yeah.
no for you is like what? For you is like what? Even if we're not very good at it, it's like what? And it's a wonderful way of experiencing what it is to be humans together. So, yes.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Kathleen, thank you. Thank you very much. It was a great moment this morning. This this beautiful Sunday for you and for us. And
Yes.
in the name of all coaches of SCCPNL, we thank you very much. And you spark something. You
Mm-hmm.
spark something. It's really interesting, and we will continue to explore all tools of all tools for coaches, and especially clean. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Lovely to
Already,
meet both of you.
really a nice woman, and thanks for your generosity.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
It's the spirit of clean. I'll
And
see you again.
have a good time in Toronto.
I will do. And you can always link in with us. There are lots of different people in the clean field. We like to talk. We are very friendly creatures.
Thank you
Lovely.
very much,
Thank
Kathleen.
you.
Bye-bye.